All right, what is going on? We're getting into one that's, I mean, you read the title. It is going to be a controversial one today. First off, I gotta say thank you for all the love on the last knife video. So many people have been commenting and like so many conversations have been started, which is awesome. Also, a couple people like found my Instagram. I think I've only mentioned it in one video. And DM'd me. Feel free to do that if you ever want to have a conversation or you disagree with something I say. Let's talk about it. I'm not here to be hating on anybody. I'm not here to just be talking shit for the sake of talking shit. And if I said something wrong, correct me, clarify, like, help me learn. So I am not speaking on things incorrectly. That being said, today we are talking about the big Cowply. I'm gonna hold these up for a sec because I use the auto-generated thumbnails and I'm hoping that it actually gives me a good one this time. So I'm gonna be getting into Cowply today. I'm gonna be doing my little let's talk about type series thing. And I've been holding off on making this one for a little bit of time here. So the reason I did that is because I placed an order, like, I guess recently-ish, for this deck right here, this 29. And I had some customer service issues, and I was waiting to give Cowply the chance to resolve these issues before I made a video, just to give them the benefit of the doubt, you know? So I guess I'm going to start off with my original experiences with Cowply and then get into some of my recent ones just to, I guess just to say. But so we'll start off with my first Cowply deck that I got. I did get directly from Cowply. That one's not super worth mentioning. But then the next one I got was this deck right here. I loved this deck. I still love this deck. And genuinely one of my favorites I've ever had. Which is what makes this such a bummer. Also, to preface for starting off in the beginning, I'm going to be a little all over the place here. But this is no direct shade on John Cowart at all. I know that he has done a lot for the scene, that he's an OG, and all those things. This is just speaking out about my experiences with the company. Okay, sorry, to get back on track here. So, first time I ever ordered from Cowply. Cowply stood out to me right in the beginning when I started fingerboarding. Everybody knows Cowply. Cowply is just one of those names. So I ordered from him and ordered directly from him, and I'm going to pull up some emails here just so I can make sure that I'm being as accurate as I can be. So I guess this isn't showing me the oldest ones, but first time I ever ordered from him, I ordered a deck, and he says that it'll take 2 weeks for decks to ship. So I waited the 2 weeks, and I hadn't heard anything. So after that, I emailed, just being like, hey, just out of curiosity, like what... I think I said just out of curiosity, like, just making sure my order didn't get forgotten about and is still coming, and just basically telling him I didn't receive tracking within the window that I was told I'd be receiving tracking in. And then he didn't actually send me any email response. I just got the email notification that my order had been shipped, which, mind you, that you get that email. So I work for a company that we're like a small business who sells online. You get that email when the label is bought. That doesn't even mean it's printed yet. That doesn't even mean it's on your package yet. It doesn't mean your shit's packed yet. And it for sure does not mean that it has left wherever that package is coming from. It's probably not at the post office yet. Like, when we do stuff, you'll get that notification, and then it's actually at the post office usually a day to 2 days after you get that notification. It took a week after I got that notification for shipping to actually like update, and I get that sometimes shit is weird with USPS, but I'm fairly confident that this just did not make it to a USPS facility until that time. So there was that, which wasn't a huge deal. I ended up getting the deck, just waited a little longer than I originally had anticipated. I just remember thinking that it was kind of weird that he didn't actually like respond to my email. He just sent me tracking. So that was my first experience. Then my next experience was with this board, which, like I said, I loved a lot. And this one I bought from Slush Cult. And loved the deck. Had a great experience. Had no problems. There was a little wrinkle on the graphic, which kind of like peeled away pretty quick. But other than that, no complaints. Also, love the deck. I love Cowply's art. This is another thing to just say off the bat. I love Cowply's art, and I have loved their molds, which makes it so hard to say these things and make this video. But yeah, so then the next Cowply that I got was after this one was this one. And I got this one from Index in person, and this one as well. Awesome. I loved it. Loved the graphic. Little wrinkle on the graphic as well, but like whatever. I'm not as picky about that stuff as some people are. But I will say there are some quality and imperfections, but I think he kind of leads with that with for the art of it thing. But got this deck, loved it, shredded the shit out of it, brought it to Cheesy Fingers is what I placed second. Not Cheesy Fingers. Finger Boom 2. This is what I placed second in Best Trick with. And loved this deck. And so like I really was starting to enjoy the Cowply molds, getting into the Cowply molds. And yeah, I just really appreciate them. And I've always thought the art is really cool. And then Black Friday came around. I know there's a lot of people who had a lot of different issues with Black Friday stuff, me included, and I understand unforeseen circumstances. What the fuck are you gonna do? You know? But that whole situation was incredibly frustrating. So I had a lot of issues then. So I wasn't hearing anything from him. He wasn't really posting updates. And then when he did start posting updates about where things were at on his Instagram, he would post being like, all orders are going to ship at the end of the week, and then I wouldn't hear anything for another long period of time. So here, I guess, I can actually trace it back. I found the emails. So I ordered on Black Friday, and I first emailed him on January 6th. So like I said, I work for a small e-commerce business. I get having to deal with some rather abrasive customer service emails. Customers tend to be really upset and really take it out in their emails. And I totally get that. It is super frustrating. But because I'm aware of that, I try to be super respectful in my emails and not come off harsh or anything like that, because I don't want bad blood, you know? So I said, yo, just curious. I ordered over a month ago and have yet to hear anything. I just wanted to make sure I haven't been forgotten or anything like that. I received zero reply to that. 2 weeks after that email, I sent, hey, so I emailed a week or two ago to inquire about my order. I got sent tracking and no response. Then the next day, I had an email saying that my order had been refunded. Just trying to figure out if my order got canceled or is still being shipped. Did not get a response on that one. So then it was, I don't even know how much time. It was a long time past. It had been a good couple months. I want to say it was February or maybe the month after that. I had completely not forgotten, but like written it off at this point. Like sorry, I'm gonna have to take a pause here. I'm acclimating fish for my fish tank right now, so I gotta pour some water in. Not quite sure where I left off on that. Oh yeah, it had been a couple months since I had received the email with tracking, but it never updated. It still said USPS awaiting package, and then after that I received the email saying my package had been refunded. So I didn't know if he just scrapped my order or if it was still coming. So then, sorry, I'm bopping all over the place. So then it comes to like a month and a half, I think maybe 2 months after that, I get an email saying your order is out in the mail, which I got so hyped. I thought for sure this shit was never coming, and he refunded the order, which is nice. But I was like, bummer that I didn't get it. I would have been willing to wait. I just like wish there was an email conversation. I wish there was a conversation back and forth. So I saw the email saying that it was out for delivery, and I was so fucking hyped, and I like was on my way home from work, checked, and it said was delivered in the mailbox. Got home, and it was not in my fucking mailbox. And I know this is not his fault, but you can imagine how frustrating that was for me, because I had become disappointed originally, thinking I wasn't going to get it, accepted I wasn't going to get it, got an email saying that it was going to show up that day, and then when I went to go get it, saying it was there, it wasn't fucking there. Which, like I said, I know that it is not his fault. I know that is not a Cowply issue, but what the fuck? And so, for our company, when we have people send us those emails saying, hey, it says delivered, but it's not here. It's not in front of my house. It's not in my address. Our company immediately offers to resend it out or refund. Which I get, he did refund before, but I think the refund was because of the fact that it took literal months for this board to ship out. And so then, of course, I emailed just as a shot in the dark to him to be like, hey, my package never delivered, even though it said it did. Surprise, surprise, I got no fucking response. Just really frustrating to not get responses. And then, so that's that whole ordeal. So I know not completely his fault. He ended up sending the board, but I just haven't gotten an email response, like actual email response, one fucking time at this point. Like, it was just so frustrating. And so then, to get into my most recent order, which this is my 4th Cowply deck, should have been 5th, never received the one, but my 4th deck, and I ordered directly from his website. I ordered the deck and the it's like the wall, it's called the Wally rail. And this rail. And I think I like unboxed it, but I never actually posted the unboxing video because I like wasn't sure. So I got that rail and ordered this deck as well. When I opened this deck up, I was super hyped about it. Graphic looked great. And I flipped it over and there was no lacquer on the top ply, like at all. And like usually he writes like the little mold name and stuff on it, and that wasn't written on there, which don't care about that, whatever. But there was no lacquer on this board. And so like immediately I'm frustrated because I've already had these issues with Cowply in the past, and I know that I am likely not going to get email responses to resolve this issue. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just put grip tape on the deck, whatever. And also, mind you, I know that the decks aren't normally like that because I've had a few in the past. And so I was like, you know what, I have to Oh, also, to preface, the reason I ordered this deck is because I figured if I ordered the rail, the likelihood of my deck being good and showing up in a timely manner was higher. At least that was my thought process. But I guess here to get into the email, this is the first email I sent. Hi, sorry to bother, but I got my order in today, and the rail is great and the deck is sick. However, the deck has no lacquer on the top ply. And I've had other decks from you, and this is not the case. Is there anything that we can do about this? Now, I know I could have probably clear coated the top of it myself, but that's not the point. I paid $45 of my money that I work hard for, probably more after shipping, just to get a product that is not $45 value. I just think the lacquer on top is such an easy thing to do that it's kind of ridiculous for it not to be there. And so I sent that email, and yeah, by the way, March is from Black Friday to March is when the deck allegedly arrived that never showed up. Even that time frame, if the deck had shown up, is fucking insane. So then that's when he didn't respond to that email, which is what I expected. And so then I sent another email, and I just put as the subject line, please respond to my email. And I said, hey, emailed about a deck and I got no response, would really just appreciate a single response. And then all I got back was, sorry about that, must have missed your email. No regard to my other email, anything like that, just sorry, missed it, which was frustrating. So then I'm still trying to be respectful at this point. I said, thank you, I really appreciate the response. In my last order, I got a Wally rail, which is awesome, and a deck. The deck has no clear coat or lacquer at all on the top ply. I was just wondering if there's anything you can do about it. Thanks for your time. And he didn't respond to that email. And so 2 days later, I follow up and say, hey, sorry to bother again. It's been a few days and I'm just emailing again in case you missed my last email. Just like he said he missed the first one, you know? And that's when I got a response finally. 2 responses. That's insane. Haven't gotten a single one in the past. So 2 is, I guess, a victory. And his response was, sorry about the delay. My boards have a thin coat on top. But if you would like another board, I can send one. Do you want the same board or a different graphic? First of all, let's note this thin top coat of lacquer thing. I have other boards from him. Yes, there is thin lacquer coats, but there was not any on this board. I'm telling you there was not. I felt it and saw it, and there, at least compared to these other boards, even if there's a thin one, like, it's not like that. So I did think, though, it was pretty cool that he offered me another graphic, because this board is still, you know, set upable and not completely unusable or anything like that. So I thought it was cool that he offered another graphic. And so I responded, being respectful, saying, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. If you could, like, and then I asked for specific graphics that he could potentially do. Like, I gave him 2 options otherwise. And I said that would be awesome. If not, if there's any other graphic, will do, honestly. And then I said, love your products and art. Thank you so much for the help. Which at this point, like I said, I'm still trying to be so nice because I don't want to be the guy who's an asshole to ruin this guy's day or whatever. And so then I got no response on that. I sent a follow-up email a week later. Now this is like, I gave him a week just in case, you know, he needed the time to respond to the email. And I said, sorry to bother again. I didn't receive a response on the last email. Just checking that you received it. Thanks. So I'm thinking that maybe sending more emails is the way to go because he keeps missing them. And And then I followed up again after that I followed up again 2 weeks later, and I said, and this is when I just stopped being as nice, and I said, haven't heard anything from you in 2 weeks. What's the deal? And that was on June 15th, and today is July 2nd. So he has had plenty of time to fucking respond to that email, and that's in my last video where I reviewed Loon, when I was kind of saying I'm waiting on something to see what I have to say about Cowply. I gave him fucking over half a month to give me this response and like kind of make this right before making this video, because I didn't want to make a video just straight ragging on Cowply. Like, I wanted to say nice things too. But other than the art, I have had just terrible customer service experiences, and I know other people in the past, I hear it from plenty of other people that they have issues with the decks all the time. Shitty drilled holes, shitty countersinks, no countersinks, things like that. And like, I wasn't even going to comment on that in the original video I made if I had been sent a replacement, but here I am saying it. Everybody says that it's not good. And like I said, I've been trying to keep vouching for it. Give it its chance. Give it, give it a fair chance. And I'll say, if you want a Cowply, I'm not saying don't buy from Cowply. Well, I guess I'm not saying don't buy Cowplys, but I am saying do not buy from Cowply. Buy from wholesaler. Buy from Slush Cult. Buy from Index. Buy from Vault. Whatever like wholesaler is doing this stuff, because at least then you know that the company will actually fucking respond to your emails, probably within a day or two. And you'll know that you'll have a decent product. Now, I did say that there were wrinkles on my graphics on both that I got wholesale, which is a decent product apparently for Cowply. I don't mind, but I know people who fucking do, so I'm sharing it. And you know what? Like I said, this kind of video started off me being lighthearted with it, and now I'm just fucking going in. Fuck that shit. It has wasted time and money that I have earned with my time. So if you want to try a Cowply out, I'm not saying don't try him out, but don't buy that shit from him directly, because if you have any issues, he won't respond, and it will take at least probably 3 weeks to get to you. So I guess if you don't care about that, then go for it. But yeah, I'm sorry to be such a bummer on this one. But I just know other people have experienced similar things, so I'm hoping that the comments can give people a platform to say those things. And I think just because someone has been in the community for years and years and years and helped establish it, which is awesome, not saying it's not, but just because they've done those things doesn't mean that they get to run their company poorly. Yeah, it's just what I have to say. I've noticed other people in videos kind of bringing it up, but beating around the bush a little bit, and not really saying what they think, or just being like, oh, this is a controversial one, and then not saying why. If you don't know why it's controversial, I'll summarize it for you right now at the end here. They're notorious for their quality being inconsistent. They are notorious for taking a very long time for your orders to ship, and they are notorious for not fucking responding to your customer service emails. So that's that. I guess it's all I have to say. I'm gonna put these up here one more time in hopes that it gives me a good thumbnail. And yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. Molds are sick. Customer service is fucking ass. And I guess that's all the complaining I'll do for today. If you want to follow me, I guess I'll pop my little ad up here. It's at KDL Owens, Owens, on my Instagram. I believe I have TikTok as well, and I don't think it's the same thing. Yeah, my TikTok is Kieran.Owens if you feel like going on there. I post clips on there sometimes, but nothing crazy. And thank you guys again for the support on the last video. I hit 100 subscribers, which I know is nothing crazy, but for me, it's pretty sick. All right, I gotta get back to acclimating these fish. Have a good one, and let me know what you guys have to say. And if you think that I'm being a dick, tell me you think I'm being a dick. If you have had only great experiences with Cowply, say that. Give them their flowers, you know? I just am telling you what I've experienced, and hasn't been great. So, have a good one, guys, and peace out.